right. So it was October 2024, and I was joining the Alberta Game Series in Calgary. And I was kind of nervous at that day because I was just all alone. So I was like, I don't know these people. I'm not from this industry. I'm just interested in like looking around and finding what this industry is. And I've met our guests for today. And if, I remember him telling me, "Are you Filipino?" And I said, "Yes." Are you Tagalog? No, I'm actually from Cebu. And, uy, Bisaya. Nice. Bisaya din ako. I'm from Davao. And as from that moment, Ruel and I had been talking in LinkedIn. We've been connecting, been talking about the gaming industry and also like jobs, job recommendations. So, if you're a gamer and you're interested in building companies, gaming companies, especially here in Canada, then you should hear his story. My friends, I'd like to welcome Roel Sarmiento from Davao. Hey,
Yeah.
Roel.
Hello. Hi, Paul. It's good to see you again.
Nice. Yeah, exactly. It's been a while that we've actually connected and talked, but we've been chatting again in LinkedIn for on and off, I guess, since
Mhm.
October of 2024. So, how have you been?
Well, I'm doing fine. I'm still I'm trying to start my like new company doing multimedia design, video, things like that. I'm also like want to like start. Right now, I'm learning Unity. Actually, um, it's a game platform or a game engine. And then yeah, like after that, after I finish my certification, I probably like start doing like tinkering Unity games, things like that. Yeah, so that's
Awesome.
what
That's
I've been doing so
amazing.
far.
Very excited to see what you would come up with. But for those who don't know you, Ruel, can you give us like a quick summary of who Ruel Sarmiento is?
Yeah, sure. I was born in Davao City. Um, I basically grew up there, and then I graduated architecture in
Nice.
Ateneo de Davao University.
Wow.
Um, since I was a kid, I was like very like creative, very artistic. I've been like drawing a lot. What influenced me to take up architecture is a book by Stan Lee and John Buscema called "How to Draw Comics the Marvel Way." And there I learn about perspectives, and I'm blown away. Like, oh, this is how you do draw in perspective. So I was like, okay, what else? Like during those times, early '90s, I like all opportunities. I don't we don't really have like opportunities into um, like game design, I like comic book art or things like that. I was discouraged by my parents to actually do fine arts because like there's like negative connotation, diba? In terms of like fine arts,
Yeah.
like
Yeah.
what do you do? Like you
Yeah.
paint, uh, you paint on like cinemas, things like that. Uh, uh, for those like for the new generation before in the cinema, like they actually like paint like posters on what they call this like big billboards, things like that. So
Yeah. I
but yeah,
remember
like
that. I remember that kasi um you hindi mo na makikita before and correct me if I'm wrong. Like for example, there's a new movie.
yeah,
In the movies, you would see it painted versus you would see like the whole screen of what's the advertisement and what's
yeah,
the new movie. It's gonna be painted, and then if the the new movie comes up, it'll they will repaint again and
Exactly. Yeah.
the
Yeah.
promo, right?
Yeah. Yeah. They actually use the same canvas and repaint it.
Yeah,
Yeah,
super.
but yeah, I mean, like, yeah, for me, like the most like logical option is to do like architecture, because I also like love like technical stuff, and also like very creative. um yeah, so like very early I'll be like doing, I'm like a very uh like visual, and I also write my own stories. When I was like 12 years old, I actually made this like 2 inches comic books that I showed my classmates and my teachers, and they were like very fun about it. And I wrote like all the stories in English. So yeah, during that time, yeah, tuwan-tuwa sila sa mga like ginagawa, and then yeah, like no, yeah. So the next thing for me, like, I was supposed to go to Manila or UST for architecture,
Okay.
but during that time, Ateneo de Davao opened an architecture course in Davao. So we are actually like the second batch of architecture students in Ateneo de Davao.
Yeah, so
And,
it's more convenient for you because you never moved.
yeah, yeah, I never moved. Yeah,
Yeah.
but
When did
however, like, yeah.
sorry, uh speaking of move, when did you move to Canada?
I moved in Canada around the 2014. Yeah.
Okay.
So yeah, but before that I was like living and working in Singapore for 4 years. Yeah.
Okay.
So yeah, like it's kind of like serendipitous on how I arrived in, it's like like how I uh 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 like how I arrived in Singapore, and then like Canada. So after architecture, I went to Manila, and after graduating, so I went to Manila to have the board exam. So I passed. Um, but then again, I got like burnt out in architecture. So while doing in Manila, I've been very active in the comic book industry there.
Okay.
So yeah, I actually published a like what we call it, like an Ashcan comics. So it's a comic book that it's self published, and then we just photocopy it and then sell it on like comic book conventions, things like that. Um, yeah, I mean during that time, 2007, 2008, the Philippine indie comic book industry is also like gaining traction.
Mhm.
So yeah, there's where I developed my um, like skill in like narrative design, which will like add up sa mga ikukwento ko later, and how I went into game design. So
Awesome. Yeah. So
yeah,
it seems
and
like sorry, it seems like you're more on the creative side designing comic books and that's what led you to the gaming industry, I guess. Uh, so when you transitioned to Canada, did you face any challenges when you transitioned? How about the kind of work that you gonna get, or in the gaming industry when you transitioned it? What was the challenges there?
yeah, so when I moved in Canada, there's like so when I moved in, I actually started as a temporary. When I went here, I
Okay.
started as a temporary foreign worker.
Okay.
So in terms of like actually doing those kinds of jobs, like I'm like constrained, like, so I'm only limited to like the actual job that I need to do here. However, I'm during that time I'm also like doing like game jams, things like that. So yeah, so like slowly I've been like developing my skills in like game development. Like during that time, if there are I'm not looking for any opportunities here in terms of like game development. I'm not. I'm actually surprised that there's a um uh, game development community here in Calgary. I didn't know that. Like I only knew about it like 2 years ago. Yeah, yeah, because I'm not looking for it or something.
Yeah.
And and my uh, and me getting into like game development as a career or business for 3 years is purely like accidental. I didn't. Yeah, it's I know, like it's during COVID, so um yeah, it was like an accident that happened.
Okay. Well, super humble mo naman. But like I've seen Smubbler, I guess. Probably you've worked with it and you've gained the skills and talent that you needed to prepare for for your career, I guess. So yeah, um, maybe an accident for you, but m- maybe not an accident for the long run because you've prepared for it. So while we are in the gaming industry now, and I want to talk to you about like how you transition to it. Um, so what was your transition to the gaming industry? So you've been here already in Canada. How did you transition? How did you find the company that you co-found and
Mm.
be the creative head? So what was that transition look like?
Yeah, so I started the company around 2019.
Okay.
But during that time, I'm doing freelancing jobs. So I'm using like the company as a like a freelancing job to do the same kind of work na ginagawa ko sa Singapore. So in Singapore, I'm actually a like technical designer.
Okay.
And I do technical design for exhibitions or and point of purchase displays. So yung mga nilalagyan ng product, like especially for like airports, when you see like products like Macallan, Absolute Vodka, mga ganon,
Yeah. So
Nestle.
it's a product, a stand.
Yeah, yeah. So I that's my regular stint when I was like in Singapore. But when I went here, when when I had a company, when I started the company in 2019, after I got my permanent residency, um, I started like the my friends in Singapore reach out to me if I can do like this type of stuff that I've been doing before. So yeah, so I've been like doing like technical design. Also I also do like motion design, like animation.
Okay.
I actually have some projects with Facebook during that time, and then yeah, like video editing, things like that, and then COVID came, right? So medyo short stint yung from 2019, because I started the company around November 2019.
So it's just
And
only you who started it at first.
yeah, it's just me. It's just me. So it's just like a part-time thing that I'm doing. I still have like a regular job sa print shop. So I'm a printing supervisor and graphic designer sa print shop. And yeah, so during when COVID hit, so walang magawa dito sa bahay. So we're nandito lang tayo nagstay sa bahay.
Okay.
But during that time, I used to like go back to like illustration, things like that. And then and then I decided na, oh, I want to do visual effects. So I studied so I did like an online visual effects course for if there's anyone in the industry who's like listening. I took like Houdini, things like that course, Houdini fundamentals. And then um, when I was like doing my final assignment for that course, in my periphery I was like listening to YouTube, like news.
Okay.
And then I heard a like a news report about virtual lands. So
Okay.
yeah, so I got curious. I was like, okay, I'm an architect. So if there's virtual lands, that means there's an opportunity to build. So so I was like curious. I was like researching about it. I was like, oh, so this is about the like it's also like making video games, uh, um, and yes, during that time it was like called like the metaverse.
Hmm.
So I was like, oh, okay. And then the metaverse also is like associated with like blockchain technology. So I got curious because like yung time na yon is like a like emerging technology.
Yeah.
But still like I'm very ignorant about it. When I went in, my purpose lang talaga is to like build, like to create. Yun lang talaga yung purpose ko.
Yeah.
So
So you're just testing out the water, I guess.
yeah,
And
yeah.
then
So and then I was like, oh, parang so I was like looking at platforms, um and then pwede ko ba i-mention yung mga
yeah.
platform, yeah. So I found out about like Decentraland, things like that. Roblox also like associated with that, and then the Sandbox. So when I so like the aesthetics of the Sandbox is like very similar to like Minecraft, things like that. And then yeah, so I was like, oh, like this is like very interesting. I think I want to learn this fast. Um, um, and then the result is I wasn't able to finish my course. Oo, para inabandon ko yung course just to learn that like the platform.
Okay.
Yeah. So
Sa pagmamadali.
yeah, yeah. So like because like exciting kasi yung technology eh. So
Okay.
what attracted me is that because like I'm a visual like designer, I never really learned like how to code.
Okay.
And that platform like is like a no code like platform, but still like for like the game design part of it, you still need like logics and behaviors. It's like visual scripting.
Okay.
um yeah, but it's kind of hard. There's still like a steep learning curve, but it's something that I can actually do. So I got excited like about it. So I started to join game jams, things like that, and contests. And then like a few months later, like my like the things that I worked on is like napapansin ng community, and even with like the COO of the platform. So he started like retweeting it, things like that.
Yeah.
And then there's actually a contest that I joined, uh and the theme about the contest is to make like an asset like about architecture. And then I didn't won. I didn't win in that contest, but I like my entry is like very unique that it like parang nag-viral siya sa community ganyan. And then there's one client that DM'd me on Twitter kung pwede ba akong gumawa ng project sa kanila.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. And during that time, yeah, I don't know. Like I never had any business. I've been like an employee throughout my life, so I was like, I had no idea. I don't know how to. Hindi ko alam kung kano sisingilin, kano ang ano.
Yeah.
So
There's
yeah, so
no you don't think of pricing, you don't
yeah,
think
I don't.
of like
Yeah,
contracts.
yeah, yeah, yeah. So like purely like creative lang talaga yung interest ko sa yung
Okay.
ginagawa ko doon. So yeah, so what I did is I reached out to my friend, if she can take care of like the business side. And yeah, that's how we started
Okay.
like the company.
So to kind of summarize, you started doing self-paced courses just to learn how to do like um, animation, gaming, related courses. And then because you're adding value to the sandbox, yung sinasabi mo, sandbox, Decentraland, these kind of platforms. Was it virtual reality? I'm guessing it's virtual reality na mga headsets you need, or
No, you don't. You don't need virtual reality headsets. Yeah, it's just like you can play play or
okay.
build it on the PC. Like that's it. Well, hindi kailangan siya ng mga
Okay.
VR, yeah,
But
headset.
it's more connected to blockchain because there are purchases that you buy siguro in Ethereum
Yeah, yeah,
or
yeah. Correct,
other platforms or other coins na, and then that'll be on the blockchain that you own, right?
correct.
Basically.
Yeah.
And
So
then you can
so
design whatever you want on the land that you've created.
yes, exactly. So there are like assets and like game assets or like the land itself. Yeah, so it's like decentralized. So yun yung
Okay.
parang
It's like
selling
tokenized.
point nila compared sa parang compared to like traditional like gaming like industry, like for example Roblox.
Yeah.
You sell you like you buy items, things like that, but in the end Roblox still own those.
Yeah.
And in reality Roblox still own those like
So
assets because
it's
they are centralized. Yeah,
yeah, so
parang
it's
ganon.
in-game purchases. Um Roblox still owns it, but
Y-
in these
y-
tokenized games,
yeah,
you own it because it's tokenized to the blockchain to you.
tokenized, yeah, and yeah, correct.
Ah,
So
okay.
yeah, so during that time that was like the appeal of the like the industry, and then then yung yeah yung appeal niya, tsaka yun yung parang like something different about that, like that industry.
I see. Okay. Well, tell me about Smubbler. So let's continue with your story. Nagsimula ka doon, you you met Smubbler, and then you became the co-founder. How did it work?
Yeah, so clearly when I started like getting like a client, so I was like parang kailangan ko talaga ng someone na to handle the business side of it, kasi
Okay.
wa- wala akong alam.
Okay.
Baka ma ano pa, kumbaga maloko tayo or
Yeah.
something. So yeah, so I tapped my friend to like help me with running the company, and then I'll take care of the creative side of it. So yeah,
Okay.
so um and then my co-founder is like really good. Uh like at first I started to like reach out to agencies here in Calgary. Nag-reach out ako sa um, Calgary Economic Development, uh, ano tawag nun? Basta Calgary Economic Development uh, something, and then
CED. Yeah. Okay.
yeah, and then yeah, I mean like during that time yung metaverse kasi honestly parang wala pa siya sa kumbaga radar ng mga
Yeah.
tao.
It's unknown.
uh, they don't know what to do with us.
Yeah.
So unfortunately, yeah. So that was like uh, around September 2021. Yeah. So what we've decided is, although I set up my company here I set up Smubbler here in Calgary, we set up another one like the main headquarters Singapore. Yeah,
Okay.
because my co-founder is Singaporean,
I
and
see.
then she knows like a lot of people there sa Singapore. Like yeah, she's very influential in Singapore.
Okay.
So
So
it
let
makes
me
sense.
rewind back a little bit.
Yeah.
So because you were trying to showcase the talent skills for that metaverse environment, and you were winning, you were showcasing the talent, and that's where people get to know you, get noticed, the skills and talent that you can do in architecture and design. That gave you the opportunity to create your own company, and then find funding. CED you mentioned. You probably need to mention as well Platform Calgary. Um, and then because there was no, they didn't know how to do it, how to deal with you. Metaverse was not really in that platform. I guess they didn't understand the platform. So you moved to Singapore, and what happened? Did you find any fundings there? What was any investments?
Um, yeah. The things blew up when Facebook changed their name to Meta. So
Okay,
that's when people started emailing us, like reaching out to us instead of us like reaching to them. So, but by that time, Smubbler headquarters is already in Singapore. So we had help with government agencies there as well. So there's like a platform Calgary version there called
okay,
IMDA, Infocom Media, like digital agency, something like that. And
yeah,
then yeah, so that's like our like an office like in Singapore. uh yeah, a lot of agencies, government agencies help us there, like just to establish and also connect us with businesses, things like that, not only locally in Singapore, but also they help us to get like to be in like accelerator program in Brazil,
okay.
in Germany, things
Wow.
like that. Yeah, so they're like really aggressive in terms of like helping us, which is we like really appreciate a lot. So um yeah, but during that time, like because of those like type of like accolades early, that we got from Smubbler, like the platform itself, like parang trusted us in
Yeah.
terms of like delivering, like as a studio. During that time, like around 2022, they actually like started to fund studios, um to like work with them to build experiences in their like platform. So we're not actually like the only studio that got invested there, but we're
Okay.
one of the studios where they invest like uh, a substantial amount of money. Yeah, so we entered like an accelerator program. We got the accelerator program, and then later on in 2022, we got fund like we had like a seed. We got funded for like seed money
Okay.
to actually started hiring like people as well, and also like yeah, like really ramping up in terms of like our projects. Yeah, because
Okay.
during that time, every creator in that platform is like really busy, like everyone has uh like
A
a
project.
project. Yeah,
Yeah.
it's actually because like it's very niche, and during that time there's only like a handful of like creatives or studios are doing it. Yeah, there's been like a shortage of like people of like, yeah, so nahirapan kami mag-hire during the time. Yeah, we
Okay.
we started we like yung mga hire talaga namin is nangyari parang later, like parang 2 to 3 months after we got our seed money, parang ganun. Kasi yeah,
Ah, okay.
konting-konti na talaga
Because of the
gumagawa during
talent.
the time.
Yeah, because of the talent na
Yeah,
nakulangan kayo ng talent
yeah.
na ma-hire. Okay. Well, when you were there, so for those na hindi alam yung decentralized, so it kind of looks like, or Decentraland or Metaverse kind of looks like Roblox, and then for you as studios, you create kind of games in
Mm-hmm.
Roblox that people can join in and participate, buy some
Yes.
stuff,
Yeah.
and then the only difference is Roblox is centralized. Everything you purchase goes to Roblox, and then maybe a cut for the studios um, that made the game.
Yes, yeah.
But most likely, it's going majority to Roblox. But in Decentraland and also the metaverse, it goes directly to the owner, the gamer, because
Mhm.
you own the token, you own that stuff, right?
Yes, correct, correct. Yeah. So like, yeah, that's definitely it. And then um yung yeah, so during that time we were exclusively building on that platform since we
Yeah.
are like invested by them. But later
So they
on,
invested in you guys.
yes,
Okay.
yeah,
Okay.
they invested in us, and they invested in us, and yeah, we also got that yeah, we got into that accelerator program.
I see. Well, the only issue lang siguro na nakikita ko nun within that is that if like the platform itself fails and people don't come anymore, and then you guys don't have any other stuff to do anymore, right? So it's like you're programming in Facebook or Google, and then if Google disappears,
Yeah.
then you guys don't have any um
Yes, yeah, yun lang yung parang danger doon. Yeah, like parang you don't want to put all of your eggs in one
in one
basket, di
basket.
ba? Parang ganun.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. Yeah, so that's actually one of the reason why like parang later on we started to like diversify into platforms that we're building.
Okay.
So and we actually considered like so that's when we also started building on Roblox, things like that,
Mhm.
and then later on we also like are planning to actually like during that time I think it was like early late 2023 or early 2024 when Fortnite opened their ecosystem and
Mm.
allow creatives to build like to build in Fortnite as well. So we're actually considering that during the time, but we didn't have we didn't like had a project that was like on Fortnite. But yeah, we did build on Roblox and Decentraland as well.
I see. Wow. So, in building that company, what did you see as challenges for you personally as a creative and as a business owner? What was the challenges for you in building that company?
The my challenges when I was like building that company is that like um parang parang feeling ko parang hindi ko alam yung ginagawa ko because
Yeah.
I'm never educated as I never went to school for like game development, things like that.
Yeah.
I
Okay.
only like do like what I know. So
Mhm.
kumbaga like uh um yeah, like I'm learning while I'm doing like the business. And
Okay.
then also what's good is that the platform is also like providing us like workshops, things like that. And like okay, so processes they teach us about like game development process as well. So they're also like, so I learned from that as well. And then ang isa din is yung pinaka grabing ano sa akin is yung impostor syndrome. I don't know if like I
Yeah.
found out that it's very common sa lahat ng mga nasa business or nasa especially when I delve into like the tech industry, ang dami palang may ganun din na problema. It's like, do
Yeah.
I deserve to be here?
For
Na
sure.
ano, parang ganun. So yeah, yun so yun yung mga ano, yung
Yeah.
mga struggles ko talaga early when I was like doing that business.
And especially siguro if nakikita nila na you're gaining traction and you yourself is like, oh, kaya ko ba to? Kaya ko ba tong
Mm.
gawin
Yeah,
or
yeah.
hindi? Because you're looking at a situation wherein you're gaining the traction for your career, for your business, and also um, something in the back of your mind is telling you this is not you, or like this is an imposter
Y-
syndrome
yeah,
for you.
exactly.
So yeah,
Yeah.
I
Parang
I get it.
yeah, parang every time na ano wala, parang laging wala talaga ako sa comfort zone. So parang hindi ako, yeah. So parang ganito pala to. So yeah, I mean like growing up, I'm never like entrepreneurial. So I'm just like absorbing or learning everything
Okay.
yeah, that comes my way. Of course there are like the problems, mistakes, especially yung imposter syndrome, magiging grabe yon pa if you especially if you start like getting like known companies or known brands as a client. As a client, parang hindi ko dapat ano to. Parang
Yeah.
dapat do a like good job about it, parang ganun. So um yeah, so yeah, when we started to get like bigger clients, syempre ang mga demands nila, so like, it's like
Yeah, it's
bigger. Yeah.
bigger
So
also.
yeah, so and yeah, and yung mga pagdadaanan mo in terms of like logistics, in terms of like mga hindi dapat gawin, parang ganun. So yeah, that I mean like that, those are the challenges, but it's something that can be like learned like really. And then contraries to like beliefs, to the usual belief, like these bigger companies are actually open to especially I think they're open because it's a like during that time it's like an emerging tech.
Okay.
And yeah, they want to be in it because they just want to be they also want to test it, so they're very open to like to like like uh to like challenges and mistakes, things like that. They're
Yeah.
aware of it,
So
which yun yung padali din sa trabaho. Yeah.
yeah, I guess it's like for example, if I'm a company, a big company like Coca-Cola, and I want to sponsor, I put myself in situations wherein uh Decentraland, or I need to, like, we have marketing budget for that, I
Yeah,
guess.
yeah,
And then so we can maybe experiment and put our brand out there and see if it sticks. 'Di ba? Yun ang ginagawa nila. So the value is if it works. And I've seen that in different companies. Like there was this I think it was in Fortnite that there was a virtual concert um
mm,
na nangyari. And then everybody was there, like people, and then there's also like major brands was like in the virtual world, they would have a stand and they would have their
yeah,
products there.
yeah,
So yeah, it's an experiment. I definitely see that, but at the same time, it's a marketing scheme for them. Makikita nila, like,
yeah,
and they
exactly,
have
yeah.
the budget for that. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. And also like that's actually what we're good at as a company, because my co-founders actually have like very good marketer. So yeah, we have like a lot of tractions in terms of like uh uh media sa my co-founder got interviews, things like that. And then we also have like online magazine publications or mga ganun. So yeah,
So
it was like very good. Yeah.
so anong nangyayari, parang ikaw si Steve Jobs yung partner mo, and si Steve Wozniak ikaw.
Yes,
Eh,
parang parang gano'n, parang gano'n. Oo,
nice.
'pag
Yeah.
may gustong mag-interview sa akin, parang, ah, puwedeng
Oh.
yung ano lang, founder ko na lang interview niyo. Exactly, parang gano'n. 'Yun yung ano namin,
Nice. Nice.
ako yung si Wozniak and tsaka siya si Jobs.
Nice. Yeah. Well,
Yeah.
in the gaming industry, did you get any mentors, networks that right now you still capitalize and work with them?
Um, so so although Smuggler's headquarters is nasa Singapore, um I'm also registered here as a company as well. So like you said earlier, Smuggler is also a member of Platform Calgary and Digital Alberta.
Okay.
So that actually helped me with the connections like in the industry, where I met like actual like who breathe and live game development. So on my first Alberta game series, that's when I met a lot of people sa Calgary Game Development Calgary Game Development Association. And then yeah, I meet also like the people in Digital Alberta. yeah, so that's where I like connected a lot of people, and actually we hired some of them for our projects in Smubbler. Yeah.
Nice.
So yeah, so one is like I got like a music like composer there, and
Mm.
yeah, so we hired him. He's from Lethbridge, and yeah, he provided them like the music for us. And I start also like reaching out or networking with other people here in Calgary, especially those who are doing VR and AR. Yeah,
Yeah.
because we also plan to expand on that during that time. Yeah.
Okay. Well, this is something that I realized when I attended Alberta Gaming Series. Na hindi lahat puros game developer. Because I was talking to someone else as well. He was also sound effects
Mm.
guy. He was doing sound effects for like if you have a fighting game, like oh yeah, yeah, yeah. And then
Yeah.
so may sound effects, meron ding music, whatever music that you want, you can whatever
Yeah.
you're experiencing in the game,
Yeah.
nandun lahat. Like every support, um, networking, then like uh, graphics, whatever, and nandun na lahat. And I was surprised na oh, malaki pala to. Like it's the gaming industry in Alberta is just parang low key lang. But yeah, maraming naghahanap ng mga clients nandun, nakiki-network kasi they were looking for potential projects na sasabihin mo magsa-subcontract ako sa'yo, like I will do, and even our host there, Brendan Hunter, was also like voice actor. Siya yung
Mm.
mga voice actor ng mga game, like mga characters, and I was like, "Wow, ganito pala." Like this is how gaming really works. It's not just like gagawa ka ng program, like ito yung mga visual effects, ganyan. But that's just maybe one-fourth of it.
Mm.
Marami pang mga ano, ginagawa. And
Yeah,
that really
exactly.
opened up my eyes on it.
Yeah, exactly. So yeah, like when I started Smubbler, ako gumagawa nun lahat na ano. Pero yeah, like as soon as like dumadami yung mga projects, I was like, oh no, like kailangan na natin ng mag-hire. So actually like yeah, in terms of like hiring people, we hired a narrative designer, we hired project managers, and something that I can be proud of, like during like when we created the companies, like we're very like global. Like we got people from Brazil, we
Mm.
got people from um we got uh, people from Ukraine.
Okay, so
Um,
it's like a worldwide talent, nakukuha
yeah,
mo
yeah,
lahat. No,
yeah, yeah,
worldwide
yeah,
talent, nakukuha mo lahat, like whatever.
yeah, exactly. And then our sound designer is from UK. Yeah, so
Wow,
we got
nice.
a sound designer from UK, and yeah, and also yeah, and then also I actually have the level designer here in Calgary, which I met by accident. So I didn't
Ah,
know. I was like, oh, you're also doing like sandbox. Pinoy din actually. So
oh.
he's actually like one of our first level designers. Ano. So what he did is like he resigned sa work niya as a manager sa Subway, and I was like, yeah, and then he started full time as a level designer sa company. So
Wow.
yeah,
Right.
that was awesome.
What a coincidence. Nagkita lang kayo dito sa Calgary or by
No,
accident lang?
no, like I was like observing this guy in YouTube building sandbox builds sa YouTube.
Ah, okay.
And then when I reach out to him, I found out about Pinoy pala siya. But when I was like when I was like getting to know him, like I found out na nasa Calgary din pala siya. Dito rin, nasa downtown. So
Wow,
so yeah.
ano, coincidence masyado.
Yeah, yeah. So like we do our like collab sessions there sa like because it doesn't make sense to have like an office here because like we're all like remote, right? So but during that like yung where we do our meetings is like before before Platform Calgary, we're doing our meetings sa ano sa Central Library.
Ah, kasi
So
libre.
yeah, and malaki yung space.
Yeah,
So
yeah,
so yeah,
exactly.
we started doing our like creative sessions there, ganyan, and also like I actually yeah, so I actually like also like started like teaching him like about level design there sa like sa library as well. So
Ah, okay.
I'm doing workshops with him, and then yung mga remote namin na ano, yeah, nakakast kami tapos nag-workshop ako about yung about level design and game design. Yeah, so that was fun.
You should be opening up a workshop for and then charging people for this for those that are interested. Maybe sa mga audience natin na narinig. If you're interested to learn about game design, nandyan si Ruel. Like you can contact him. Right.
Yes.
Um so are you still active in the gaming industry right now? What's your level of activity right now?
So I left the company
Hmm.
late last year. So I left it with my co-founder. What like one thing that is like very hard for me while doing the business is that because our team are mostly in Asia, ang
Ah, okay.
hirap in terms of like project management, and also like the overall like parang ano parang work habit ba, parang ganon. And unfortunately yung yeah it took a toll on my health, so I have to decide na ano like I need to step back and leave the company. But I'm
Oh
very
wow.
optimistic. I want to. I'm been. I want to be involved in the gaming and tech industry here in Calgary, especially knowing right now na Calgary is like positioning itself as a tech and entertainment industry.
Yeah.
So yeah, I'm excited, very
Also
excited,
AI.
and AI, yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
also AI.
So
AI is one of them.
I'm very excited about that. I'm kind of like like this year and next year will be like probably like an where I will like educate myself about these kinds of things. I'm not active in like game development per se, because like I said, I'm trying to learn Unreal Engine right now, but I'm still like I'm on like the Discord sa Calgary Game Development Association. So they have like these workshops and meetups, things like that. So in a few days I'll be attending one. Yeah, that's sort of like activity like muna, and then yeah, and then for now I'm looking for uh, um, uh, like an opportunity muna na I can do while learning like these kinds of things like tech things. I
Ah, I
don't want
see.
to go back to school. Ang ang advantage lang sa akin is I'm a very quick learner, so I'm doing like the self-paced learning right now, and also like yeah, connecting with the connecting with the people that I used to connect to when
Yeah,
I was
because who
working.
knows? Who knows the people that you connect in the Alberta Gaming Series and also Digital Alberta. Those are the kind of people you want to go and mingle and crowd with
Yeah,
because there might be situations wherein someone is looking for another partner or someone's looking for a creative head like you. Um, that might be w- that might result to a new company or a new
yeah,
opportunity for you. So yung the learning, I guess, for me is don't close your doors on certain networks.
yeah,
Um, and even if you're still learning and learning Unity, yung sinasabi mo, you're still active on it, and then that's good. Like you still have that creativity in you, and you want to really double down on that.
yeah, yeah. I mean like even before I started the business, I'm doing like game development as a hobby. When I was like in Singapore, and even when in the Philippines, actually like during like when after I passed the board exam, I actually worked as a concept designer to a game development company in Makati. So
Ah,
during
okay.
that time, wala
Wow.
pang cellphone, parang flash games pa lang.
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. I
Yeah, yeah.
remember
So
Flash games.
wala pang smartphone. So yeah, I actually worked as a game development, like a concept designer. Yeah, just because I'm very interested. And then when I was in Singapore, luckily my roommate is a programmer, and my other roommate is a musician. So so we did like we got like this like a side project,
Yeah.
and actually that side project we've been featured in a game development expo in Singapore as well. Like we got tapped and
Wow.
we presented there. So yeah, so it's just like small things that I did before that led to it, and doing the game development as a career like only made sense because like everything that I learned, like narrative design, concept design, things like that, and even like editing videos, doing trailers. Nagamit ko lahat yun when I started the business.
Yeah.
So yeah, I mean like the lesson there is that like find all your like find all like what do you, like take notice of yung mga strengths mo,
Okay.
and then like find an opportunity. Nagkataon lang talaga na parang nag-present siya itself. It's like, oh, I think ito yung kaya nag-double down ako
Yeah.
nung nakita ko agad yung opportunity.
Because you already had the
Exactly.
skills that you need to be in that situation, and then
Mm.
the opportunity came. I remember sinasabi to ng like my boss ko before, uh, don't prepare for the storm. If the storm is 3 days, meron ng 3 days from now dadating na yung bagyo.
Uh,
So you need to pack up your stuff months before the forecast, or months even knowing na yung storm darating. So it's similar to what you've said. You've already prepared yourself. You were very creative. Nakikita ng mga tao, and then you were also showcasing your talent, your skills, and nakikita ng mga tao. Then the opportunity came, and that's what I'm learning from you right now.
yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. And
So
then
what's the future for you, Roel? Ano yung future mo? What do you think?
yeah, so hopefully I can get back to or start doing be active in the tech and game development community here in Calgary.
Okay.
One of the reasons I also like left Smubbler is like I want to start something here, like locally, 'di ba?
Yeah. Okay.
Parang yeah, I mean like if I create jobs kahit na 5, 10 people, that's something that you help
Yeah.
sa that you contributions mo dito is like sa Calgary. And then also like it was fun because like I did like presentations sa platform before where I'm invited sa Innovation Week demo days during that time, and every time na may mamit ako na Pilipino parang tuwang-tuwa sila. I was like,
Yeah.
uy, parang hindi masyado kami nakakita ng mga Pinoy dito.
That
So,
that is exactly why I'm featuring you right now, because bihira makakita ng kapwa Pilipino in a gaming industry, in the tech industry. If you can find maybe a handful lang siguro na kilala natin, and maybe like but you are riding the bull, my friend. Ikaw yung co-founder, ikaw yung gumawa ng company, you are there, you're presenting. And yeah, that's super amazing. And yeah, makaka-inspire ng mga tao like, okay, how to be you, Ruel, how to be you. So that's why I want the world to know your story.
thank you. Yeah, but it's a journey. Like, but definitely, yeah. The most important takeaway that I got from like uh, from having the company is just I learned a lot of stuff in terms of like operating a business and networking. Sobrang mahiyain talaga ako, and then
Yeah.
because of
Yeah.
that, yeah, like like right now, like if you invited me like let's say 4 years ago, I would not say yes. to you.
You're probably
So
scared because I twisted your arm to do this podcast.
yeah, so talagang sobrang ano, parang I mean like I'm still like very introvert but yeah, I mean like uh yeah, I mean like I learned that like along the way while doing like a business because hindi ka talaga pwede maghiya-hiya pag ano
Yeah,
pagkausap mo mga
exactly.
kliyente or even like leading a team because like during that time I was like leading like a like 20 creatives pa lang yun.
Yeah.
So meron pang mga project manager, meron pang mga business developer. In total nag-reach kami ng mga around almost 50 actually. Yeah. So
Wow,
it
50
was like
people.
very big na ano. Including mga ano mga if you count yung mga part-timers then para mga ganun. So but yeah, it was fun. It was fun and I learned a lot. So hopefully yung mga learnings doon I can like take it and then bring it here sa Calgary.
Okay, for those that are interested in learning game development, like what Ruel is doing, what is your best tips for them?
Yeah, like the best tips is like if, I mean like if you have money to go to like a game development school then so be it. I mean like go to a game development school
Paano
but
kung budget meal? Paano kung
but
budget
pag
meal?
budget meal ano actually like the best way I found out this the best way to learn something is to actually like for example like I mentioned before I got this project from like Facebook and I need to do motion design. And during that time, I don't know how to do After Effects. And because it's a paid project, I learned that like very fast. So like one that's and I applied it ever since. Like like if you
Hmm.
have like an opportunity to get a paid gig for something na hindi mo alam, but you know you can do it. You know, but that's the most important thing. You should like you should know that you can do it, and then take that job, a paid job, even if you don't know. You will like learn very fast. Yeah,
Okay.
that's one of the trick that I learned. Um, uh, but yeah, like there's a lot of like opportunities to learn online. YouTube is a very good resource like especially yeah I don't think like right now I mean like the wealth of information that we have in this age is like grabe like if I have this kind of information in the 90s or
Yeah,
early 2000
exactly.
nako po.
Yeah. That's why we have YouTube University, right?
Yeah. So yeah, I just learned like everything there, watching tutorials, things like that, and then apply mo agad every time. So
Okay.
yeah, yun lang yung ano,
Yun ang pinaka-importante, I guess. The
pinaka-importante.
application,
Oo.
the learning and the
Appli-
application.
yeah,
Yeah.
wag mong ano, kumbaga, wag mong tawag dito, ah wag mong patagalin ba
Yeah.
yung application. Oo. Kasi
Yeah.
anong tawag doon? Parang analysis paralysis.
Yun, yeah.
Parang ganun ba. Pero yeah, I mean, I'm still guilty of like doing it, but yeah, but yeah, I'm still but that's how I learned like very fast like in terms of like a lot of stuff. I mean like that's how I learned yung game development process when I started the business too. Yeah. So
Okay. Well, for those that are interested to follow you and follow your story, how did they reach you?
hindi masyado ako active sa social media actually.
Yeah.
But you can add me on LinkedIn siguro.
Okay. Ruel
Uh,
Sarmiento on LinkedIn.
Ruel Sarmento on LinkedIn. Yeah. Tapos
Okay.
ang linkedin.com/ for the love of bots. Yun yung URL sa LinkedIn.
Nice. Well, thank you very much, Ruel, for your time and for sharing your wonderful story. Very inspiring na story. Again, kudos to you. Bihira lang makahanap ng mga tao na kapwa Pilipino, very active in the gaming industry, especially here in Canada already. I'm pretty sure those that are interested in game development or interested in doing like game supports, there's something for you to learn about Ruel's story. So yeah, if you're listening right now, and we're gonna market this in YouTube as well. So if you're listening, uh, you can actually contact Ruel if you want to learn more, get more tips from him. Thank you, Ruel, for your time. Maraming salamat. You've been
Thank you.
amazing guest.
Salamat.
Okay, well that's the pod.
Wow.